All right. I'm going live, but I'm just getting an error message here and I was reading it, forgetting that I'm already live. Okay. Oh, off to a good start, I see. All right. Today, this is going to be kind of a different English class. What I have here are the notes from my class on Friday. So I had several English classes with people from levels of beginner to advanced, and we talked about different things. And so now I'm going to do a video where we talk about all of these interesting things that came up. And when I have a beginning class, somebody who doesn't speak very much English or know English very well, I always start with the same routine, which is kind of practicing asking questions, very basic questions, and also practicing numbers and days. So we'll start with that. So the beginning of this class will be for beginners, basic people, basic learners. And so how we do this is, you see I've got this information here. Yesterday was Thursday, March 7th. See, this is from Friday, March 8th. Okay, now I will ask you a question, and you have to listen very carefully when I ask you this question. Was yesterday Sunday, March 7th? Was yesterday Sunday, March 7th? Was yesterday Sunday, March 7th? Think about that. According to the information, we're a few days off here. Was yesterday Sunday, March 7th? How do you answer no? That's not correct, because it says yesterday was Thursday, March 7th. So you have to say no. No, yesterday wasn't. No, yesterday wasn't March 7th. No, yesterday wasn't March 7th. Okay. Now we have to ask, what day yesterday? How do you make that question? What day yesterday? What day was yesterday? What day was yesterday? And we're a little bit off on the dates here, so it might be confusing. But yesterday was Thursday, March 7th. Yesterday was Thursday, March 7th. All right, and then we move on to today, which we have to pretend that it's Friday. Okay. So the number 2 is today is Friday, March 8th. So if I make the question, is today Monday? Is today Monday? Is today Monday, March 8th? Is today Monday, March 8th? Is today Monday, March 8th? How do you answer no? No. No, today is not. Or no, today's not. Today's not. No, today's not. No, today isn't. No, today isn't. No, today isn't. Friday, Monday, March 8th. No, today isn't Monday, March 8th. Okay. And now we have to make a what day today question. How do you make that? What day is today? What day is today? What day is today? And today, according to the information on the screen, today is Friday, March 8th. Today is Friday, March 8th. Or you can make a contraction with today is. It sounds like this. Today is Friday. Today is Friday. Today is Friday, March 8th. Today is Friday, March 8th. All right, now let's move on to number 3. And if we read number 3, this is not true anymore. This is a few days old. Tomorrow will be Saturday. Tomorrow will be Saturday, March 9th. Tomorrow will be Saturday, March 9th. Let's make a yes-no question with that sentence. Will tomorrow be? Will tomorrow be? Will tomorrow be? Will tomorrow be? Will tomorrow be Saturday, March 9th? Okay. Well, yes, it will. According to the information, yes, it will. Let's change that. Will tomorrow be Wednesday? Will tomorrow be Wednesday? Wednesday, March 9th. Will tomorrow be Wednesday, March 9th? How do you answer no? How do you tell me no? No. No tomorrow. No tomorrow will not be. No, tomorrow will not be Wednesday. No, tomorrow will not be Wednesday, March 9th. No, tomorrow won't be. No, tomorrow won't be. No, tomorrow won't be Wednesday, March 9th. Okay, now let's make a what day tomorrow be question. What day? What day will? What day'll tomorrow be? What day will tomorrow be? What day will tomorrow be? What day will tomorrow be? Tomorrow will be Saturday, March 9th. Tomorrow will be Saturday, March 9th. Tomorrow will be Saturday, March 9th. Let's go back and take a look at some of the mistakes that the student made when making the question. Let's see. Our question for number 1 was yesterday Sunday, March 7th? And the student answered, no, it wasn't yesterday, Sunday, March 7th. Can you identify the problem with that? No, it wasn't yesterday, Sunday, March 7th. What did she do? What kind of mistake did she make? Well, she said yesterday 2 times. She said, no, it, and then she said, no, it wasn't yesterday, Sunday, March 7th. So you have 2 possible answers here. You can say, no, yesterday wasn't March 7th, or you can say, no, it wasn't Sunday, March 7th. But you cannot combine them. You cannot put them together. Let's see, did she make a mistake for number 2? No, number 2 was okay. But when we arrive at number 3, we see a problem, okay? Because I asked her, can you make the question? Can you say, tomorrow, Wednesday? How will you make that question? And what she said was, will be tomorrow, Wednesday, March 9th? What is the mistake there? What did she do incorrectly there? She said, will be tomorrow. But that's not what you do. You have to say, will tomorrow be? Will tomorrow be Wednesday, March 9th? Will tomorrow be like this? Will tomorrow be Wednesday, March 9th? Okay. And that is the question form. So if you want to make other questions, like what day, you must use the question form. What day will tomorrow be? Okay, let's move on. Okay. Okay. So now I give her a sentence. I'll give you a sentence, okay, which is, he takes the dog for a walk in the morning. He takes the dog for a walk in the morning. Again, this is beginning English, so it's very basic. But how do you make a question? How do you ask a yes-no question with the sentence, he takes the dog for a walk in the morning? He takes the dog for a walk in the morning. Can you ask a yes-no question with that information? Does he take the dog? Does he take the dog for a walk? For a walk? Does he take the dog for a walk in the morning? Does he take the dog for a walk in the morning? How would you tell me no? How will you answer no to that question? No. No, he. No, he does not. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't take the dog for a walk in the morning. No, he doesn't take the dog for a walk in the morning. How will you make a when question? When take dog for walk? When take dog for walk? When does he? You see, we have to use the question form. When does he? When does he take? When does he take the dog for a walk? When does he take the dog for a walk? Using the question form. So you see the question form is, does he take the dog for a walk? And then when you make the when question, you have to use the question form. When does he take? When does he take? When does he? When does he take? When does he take the dog for a walk? And the answer is in the evening. He takes the dog for a walk He takes the dog for a walk in the evening. Okay. Let's see, is there any other information here? Oh, just because this is basic English, let me just remind you that we have these phrases. We have in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. And it's always in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. But for some reason, if you say night, you have to say at night. Why? I don't know, but you just have to remember that. In the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, but at night. Try to remember that. People always get confused with that. They always have problems with that. Okay, now let's try another sentence here. We've got, they are good friends. They are good friends. Or they're good friends. They're good friends. How will you ask a yes-no question with that sentence? They're good friends. How will you ask me a yes-no question? Make a yes-no question. Are they? Are they good friends? Are they good friends? Are they good friends? Tell me no. No, they. No, they. No, they are not. No, they're not. No, they're not good friends. Or no, they aren't. No, they aren't good friends. No, they aren't good friends. And what is the opposite of friends? Enemies. So let's say, no, they aren't good friends. They're enemies. They are enemies. They're enemies. They're enemies. They aren't good friends. They're enemies. No, they aren't good friends. They're enemies. Let's try another example here. We have, she practices English every day. Just 1 second. I'm already losing my voice. It's only been 15 minutes. So again, this is an actual class I was doing the other day. So it's like we're having the same class. So we have, she practices English every day. How will you ask a yes-no question with that sentence? She practices English every day. Does she? Does she? Does she practice? Does she practice English? Does she practice English every day? Does she practice English every day? Tell me no. Answer no. No, she. No, she. No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't practice. No, she doesn't practice English every day. No, she doesn't practice English every day. Okay. Now let's make a how often practice English question. How often practice English? How often does she? How often does she practice? How often does she practice English? How often does she practice English? We have to use the question form. Does she practice English? How often does she practice English? Question form. What is the answer? 3 times a week. 3 times a week. She practices English. She practices English 3 times a week. 3 times per week. 3 times a week. She practices English 3 times per week. Okay, let's try another example. We have, he is tall, or he's tall. He's tall. He is tall. How will you ask a yes-no question with this sentence? He is tall. He's tall. Is he? Is he? Is he? Is he tall? Is he tall? Is he tall? And let's answer no. No, he is not. No, he's not. Listen. No, he's not. No, he is not. No, he's not. No, he's not tall. No, he isn't. No, he is not. No, he isn't tall. No, he isn't tall. He's short. That's the opposite. He's short. No, he's not tall. He's short. No, he isn't tall. He's short. Okay, let's try another example here. We've got, it rains every June. It rains every June. How will you make a yes-no question with this sentence? It rains every June. Does it? Does it rain? Does it rain every June? Does it rain every June? Does it rain every June? Tell me no. Answer no. No. No, it does not. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't rain. No, it doesn't rain every June. Let's make a when question. When? When does it? When does it rain? When does it rain? It rains every May. Every May. It rains every May. It doesn't rain every June. It rains every May. It doesn't rain every June. It rains every day. All right, we have it will rain tomorrow. It will rain tomorrow. Or listen to how it sounds when people are talking. It'll rain. It'll rain. It'll rain tomorrow. It'll rain tomorrow. Can you make a yes/no question with that sentence? It'll rain tomorrow. Will it? Will it rain? Will it rain tomorrow? Will it rain tomorrow? How will you answer no? No, it. No, it will not. No, it won't. No, it won't rain. No, it won't rain tomorrow. No, it won't rain tomorrow. Let's make a when question. When? When will it? When'll it? When'll it? When will it? When'll it? When'll it rain? When'll it rain? When'll it rain? Oh, I put tomorrow for some reason. Let's say next week. It'll rain next week. It'll rain next week. It'll rain next week. All right, that was part of a much longer class, obviously, but that was really the speaking practice that we did in this beginner's class. And then I moved on to a more advanced class on Friday, somebody with a very advanced English skills. And first we were talking about these phrases, funny business or monkey business. Now, funny business means, the word funny, which, as you probably know, means ha ha ha. Ha ha ha, funny. But it also could mean strange or unusual or not right. So a lot of times when somebody says, oh, that's funny, it means, oh, that's strange. That doesn't seem right. And there's this expression, funny business, which means something is suspicious. Something is strange. Something isn't correct. I've got to move so you can see. Okay, and also I don't remember why we were talking about funny business and monkey business, but we were. Then we have monkey business, which means kind of acting stupid, acting ridiculous, acting like a child. A lot of children can be accused of monkey business. Maybe you tell the children, if they're acting very crazy, stop the monkey business. I don't remember why we were talking about that. Let's see. Okay, now this person who is very advanced, mostly her problems are with pronunciation. So this class on Friday was mostly about pronunciation. And the first issue that we had was when she said effect. She was saying another word, the second word, affect. They're two different words. And the big difference is the accent. So maybe I should put numbers up here. Let me see. 1 and 2. Let's see. And by the way, if you're watching this live and you have questions, please ask the questions. And don't. I will try to watch the chat and answer any questions that you have as we go. Okay, so we have effect, which is like the result, and then we have affect. Let me actually make that big. So really, even the spelling is a little bit different, but the really big difference is in the accent. Where do you put the accent? So affect could mean like a facial expression or the expression of emotions through the face. Most of the time, you probably will be saying number one, effect. So the accent is on the second syllable, effect, and that's like result. Then she was asking me, how do I talk about if I have a feeling, like an intuition about something? And then I had to get more information from her because what was the first one? We've got common sense here. I have a gut feeling. What are the other examples here? Okay. So there were different ways to say it, because you can say, I have a gut feeling about something. And this word gut, it's about your digestive system, your stomach, your intestines, what happens when you eat food, the way it goes through your body. The word gut is about your stomach or your digestive system. And when you say, I have a gut feeling, that means you have like a nervous feeling in your stomach, and it's about your intuition. So you use this expression, I have a gut feeling, when your body is telling you something is wrong, something is right. So that's one way to talk about your intuition. So you see gut, digestive system here. And by the way, a gut doctor is a doctor who looks at your digestive system. Another way to talk about intuition is to say, something tells me. So maybe there's a little bit of evidence, and you can say, something tells me you're not right. So maybe that means you have a little bit of information. Wait, let's see. I was thinking of using ChatGPT for this, because, let's see, ChatGPT, because it can give you examples very quickly. So let's see. Let's see what it says. Or maybe we can play around with it a little bit. Okay, so I said, I asked ChatGPT, give me 10 examples of I have a gut feeling. Don't worry, we're not going to do 10 examples, but let's see. If someone says, I have a gut feeling that something isn't quite right about this situation, what that means, because gut, it's like your stomach. It means I have like a funny feeling in my stomach that something isn't right. I have like a physical feeling that something is wrong. Let's see. Even though I can't explain it logically, I have a gut feeling that we should proceed with caution. So in the second example, I can't explain it logically. I can't tell you why, but I have a feeling in my stomach. I have a gut feeling that we should proceed with caution. You see how they use that? Let's look at number 3. My gut feeling is telling me that we shouldn't trust that person. Did you ever meet someone and there's just something about them? You have a bad feeling in your stomach when you meet them. Then you say, I have a gut feeling about that person. Like, I can feel it in my stomach. They're not a good person. Okay, how about, let's try something tells me. Let's see. So when you say something tells me, it's like you're finding something out there that is giving you an indication it's not good. So let's see. Something tells me we shouldn't ignore those warning signs. Despite not having any evidence, something tells me he's hiding something from us. But you see, I think if you say something tells me, there is evidence. Maybe it's not obvious, but there's something there, something around you. I have a gut feeling, I think, is about an internal process. But if you say something tells me, maybe it's more about what you see outside, externally. Something tells me we shouldn't trust him. He doesn't look like somebody to trust. Okay, let's see. Let's keep going here. Okay. Now, the most of the class, what we did was we talked about pronunciation. So she speaks English very well. She has a very good vocabulary. And for a long time, I've been working with her for a long time. But there's something I just, it's hard to understand her sometimes. And I think I finally noticed what it was. And it is the way that she uses vowel sounds. So she pronounces everything accurately, or mostly accurately. But the one big problem is the length of the vowel sounds that she makes. Okay, so let's look at these two first words here. Drugs, drugs, drugs. Okay, if I say the vowel sound shortly, drugs, drugs, and then let's say it with a little bit more time. Drugs, drugs. To me, it's hard to understand the first one if you don't give it enough time. Drugs. It's hard to understand that. But if you give the more length to the vowel sound, drugs, it becomes very easy to understand. So you could pronounce the letter accurately, but if you don't give it enough time, it becomes very difficult to understand. So so I think for the rest of this, we're going to be talking about pronunciation and the length. How long is the vowel sound? Is it short in period, short in duration, or long? So we were reading an article and we were only focusing on the vowel sound length. Okay. So if I read this word, patience, 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 there are two vowel sounds in there. What do you think about them? Are they long or short? Are they both long, both short? Is it a combination? Patience. Two vowel sounds. And I think one of them is very long and one of them is very short. Which one is long? Patience. And which one is short? The A, which is actually two sounds. It's e. A is long and shunts is short. It seems like a very small thing, but if you have a habit of not giving enough time to your vowel sounds, it will be very difficult for people to understand what you're saying. So let's practice the length of the vowel sounds. It's a pretty common problem, I'm starting to realize. Patience. Patience. Give that A some time. And then shunts. Patience. Patience. This will greatly improve your pronunciation if you're having pronunciation problems. I saw it. I was working with her just on Friday. I was amazed at the difference that it makes. So this might be boring for you and you might hate it, but trust me, let's do it, okay? So that's what this is going to be for the next, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes, vowel sounds, okay? With. With. Again, this is actually a combination of sounds. With. With. You cannot go too quickly through it. If you try to do it too quickly, it will become difficult to understand, especially if it's with other words. With. With. That's long. It's a long sound, and it's two sounds. With. 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 Patience. With. Okay, and now we get this phrase here. Broken, broken. What do you think about that? One of these is long and one of these is short. Broken, broken. Can you hear the difference? Can you hear the long sound and the short sound? Which one is long? Which vowel sound is long? Broken, broken, bro. It's actually two sounds. In a lot of languages, when you say when you say the O sound, it's just O, but not in English. In English, it's actually two sounds. It's O. So it must be long because it's actually two sounds. Oh, bro. You can see how I finish with a kiss. I finish with a kiss. Bro. You have to finish with a kiss there. Broken. Can you hear the difference? There's a big difference, really. broken, 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 long, short, broken. And then we have the word backs. What do you think about that ah sound? Do you think that's short, eh, or do you think it's long, ah? It's long. So this is long, short, long. Broken backs. And what a lot of people do, this person spoke Spanish, but I know this happens with people who speak Chinese also and other languages, but that try to do it all at one very short sound. Broken backs, broken. I can't even do it. Broken backs, broken backs. It's just, especially if you do it to one or two words, maybe I can understand you. But if you do it for every word, it becomes really difficult to understand what you're trying to say. But if you take your time, if you can start to notice the long sounds versus the short sounds, you will improve your pronunciation by 1,000,000%. Okay? Broken backs sounds so nice if you take your time. What about this word? Had. 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 What do you think about that vowel sound in there? Is that head or is it had? It's very long. It's actually like 3 sounds. Hey. This is North American English we're doing. This sound could be very different in Australia or the UK, but in North America, it sounds like this. Had. And it's like 3 sounds. Had. 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 Can you hear those 3 sounds? It's super long. Had. Had. Let's go back. So let's see. Patients with broken backs. Can you say that? But pay attention to the length of the vowel sound. Patients with broken backs. Had. Patients with broken backs. Had. Okay. Now let's go to the next word here, which is surgical. I mean, this is not exact because sometimes I think it would be okay if you gave a very short vowel sound. And to me, let's see, surgical. Surgical. I'm going to say it like that. Surgical. What do you think about that? There are 3 vowel sounds in there. Surgical. Surgical. What do you think about sir? Is that long or short? It's long. Sir. What about j? Surge. Surge. That's short. Surge. What about col? Col. Surgical. See, I think sir could be short if you wanted it to be. That would be okay. Surgical. Surgical. I think that it could be short. I think that would be okay. Surgical. This is not exact. You have to just pay attention to what you hear from other people. Surgical. Surgical. I think that could be short. Surgical. Surgical. Either way, it's okay. Okay. Now let's try this next word here. Injected. 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 I think those are all short. Injected. 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 Okay. Now we get to something pretty interesting. We've got this word there. There. T-H-E-I-R. And this becomes a very important vowel sound because in some types of English, it isn't typical to pronounce the final R of a word. So, for example, in the UK, in the standard UK accent, and I think also in Australia, most people will not pronounce the R at the end of a word. So the vowel sound becomes very important here. Okay? So listen to me say this word very slowly. There. Okay? It's not there. Okay, maybe in rapid English, conversational English, it could be. But if we're taking our time and saying it very slowly, there. There. That's A lot of different sounds. There. It's like air, air. So if you're in the UK or in Australia with no R at the end, what you don't hear the, you hear there, 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 or something like that. Something close to that. There. So it's not just it's air, there, there. And then we were even comparing these two words. We've got the. What about that? So if we look at number one, the, is that a long sound or a short sound? Oh, that's short. That's very short. But compare that to number two. There. There. Don't pronounce the R. There. 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 Compare that to number one. The. There. The. There. They sound different. They're different sounds. Okay, she was asking me about the expression pardon me because she said I was at work and somebody said pardon me or pardon, and she said, is that a word in English? Because you can of course say that in Spanish. You can say perdón, but she said I've never heard that in English. And I said yes, it's just like saying excuse me. I think it sounds a little bit more formal if you say pardon. You could. It's perfectly fine to say pardon me. Just means excuse me. Sounds a little bit fancier, a little bit nicer. Okay. Now let's take a look at this next word here, which is joints. Joints. Okay. So we I guess you could even imagine, without even hearing it, it must be long because it's two vowel sounds together. It has to be a long sound. You can't run through this. You can't say joints. That would be hard to understand. But of course, remember that the O in English is two sounds. It's O. So this is oi, oi, oi. Joints, joints, joints. It's a very long sound. And you can't run through it. You can't say joints because that would become very difficult to understand. It's really important. If you want to improve your listening and improve your pronunciation, this little tip will help you so much to go through that, because it's something that is easily ignored, but it's very important. And then actually we got to this discussion of the difference between number one and number two here, this and these. And there's one very obvious difference, which is the ending, because in number one, the ending is like the sound of a snake, this. And in number two, the ending is the sound of an insect, these. And I think most people can hear the difference between them. But the other really big difference, which is not obvious, is the vowel sound. And many people speaking many different languages have a difficult time producing the difference between number one and number two. So if we say number one, this, a couple of things. First of all, this is a vowel sound that you eat, okay? What I mean is it goes down. It doesn't come out, it goes down. So when you're saying this, you should be pushing down. This, you push down. It's a sound that you eat, okay? And number two, you do not eat number two, you put it out. You push it out very strongly. These, you push it out. You can feel the air come up and push out. And another difference is that number one is short, very short in duration. This. You eat it and it's short. This. But number two, you push out and it's very big and long. These. So there are two big differences between number one and number two. Number one, you eat, and it's very short in duration. This. And number two, it's very long and very big, and you push out a lot of air when you do it. These. Number one. this. Number 2, these. So there's a big difference there. Maybe you don't think so, but it is. Okay, let's see. This becomes pretty interesting. There's an interesting thing here. So we're reading this article, but she knows all of the words. We're really just focusing on, and it's a medical. It was a medical article that we were reading, but we were just focusing on the pronunciation, on the short versus the long vowel sounds. And so we have this phrase, these operations appeared. These, so we already know these, that E, it's very long, and you push it out. These. And then we get to operations. A lot of vowel sounds there. Operations. 4 vowel sounds. What do you think about them? Are they long or short vowel sounds? Operations. Can you hear the difference between the long ones and the short ones? That's short. Upper. 2 short ones. Operate. Then it's a long one. Operations. What about the final one? Is that long or short? Shouldn't. Short. Operations. So we've got short, long, short. So that's operations. These, say those 2 words together. These operations. And then we have the final word here, which is appeared. So we have appeared. There's 2 vowel sounds. Appeared. What about the first one? Is that short or long? Appeared. First one is short. Up. That's short. That's very short. What about ear? Appeared. It's very long. Appeared. Let's say that whole phrase, but let's focus on the duration of the vowel sounds. These operations appeared. I'll say it very quickly. These operations appeared. Okay, that's how it sounds when it's quick. But we have to take our time and exaggerate and do it slowly to improve our pronunciation. But these operations appeared. Okay. And that while we were talking about this, I realized, if you look at these next 2 words, disappeared and these appeared, most people, because they don't like to pronounce the TH in English, and they don't like to distinguish between S, the snake, and Z, the bee, the insect, they almost sound exactly the same, except for the vowel sound. Because in number 1, if I say number 1, disappeared, that first vowel sound, di, is that long or short? Disappeared. Is that long or short? That's short. Di. Disappeared. Di. So you're eating it, and it's very short in duration. Di. Disappeared. But compare that to number 2. These appeared. So if you ignore all the other differences, and most people do, who are learning English, the big difference is the vowel sound, the first vowel sound, because in number 1 it's short, disappeared. But in number 2 it's very big, it's very long, and you push it out. These appeared. So number 1 is disappeared. And number 2 is these appeared. So the really big difference here is that vowel sound. Disappeared, these appeared. Can you hear the difference? Can you say the difference? Disappeared, these appeared. Okay, that was the end of that class, and then I started another class, again with a very advanced person, And our first issue, we started with a conversation talking about the weather. He was in Spain, and he was in Barcelona, and he was saying, "Oh, it's supposed to rain tomorrow, which is good, because we haven't had much rain recently." And what he said was there was a draft, but he didn't mean draft. He meant drought. A drought is a period with no rain. See this word here? D-R-O-U-G-H-T. That's drought. That's a period of no rain. So he meant there was a drought in Barcelona, or the Barcelona area, in, what is that area called? Catalonia, right? And draft means something different. Draft, let me find a picture of a draft for you. Let's see. Okay, can you see this? Let's see. Let me bring this up. So a draft is where you get beer from. That's draft beer. Almost spelled the same. They're a little bit different. But they sound very different. So this is draft beer. And if you spell, let's see. So we've got drought. That's D-R-O-U-G-H-T, and it's pronounced differently. That's a period of no water. And then you have draft, which means like tap. Tap is a place where liquid comes out of. So you have the tap water from your kitchen or your bathroom. That's where the water comes out. That's a draft. You could call that usually that's just used for beer or something. And then there's draft, D-R-A-F-T, which means a lot of wind. So you have to be careful about these different words. Let's see, like the house gets drafty in the winter. That means you can feel the cold air coming in the winter, like wind in your house. Drafty old house. Okay. We were reading an article, and there were a couple of interesting vocabulary words here, so we'll just talk about those words. Let me find a picture here. The first word that we talked about is a pretty advanced word, actually, is harness. So the black thing around the horse is called a harness. And if you talk about harnessing your energy, that means like controlling your energy, or making your energy move into something creative or useful. Harnessing something means taking control over it. And he said, oh, that's like taking the reins, which I guess you can also say in Spanish. You can take the reins of something. And it is like taking the reins, except if you say harness, you must use an object. So you harness energy, you harness your anger, you harness your intelligence. That means you take control over it and you move it in the direction that you want. So when you say harness, you have to use an object. But when you say take the reins, that just means take control, and you don't need to use an object, because take the reins just means take control. Okay, now the next word that we had in this article, the vocabulary word, was the word snag, which is number 2. And you don't know that word. We'll talk about it in a minute. But before we do, let's talk about the difference in the sound, in the pronunciation of number 1, which is snack, and number 2, which is snag. Really, the only difference between number 1 and number 2 is when you say number 1, you push out a lot of air. Snack. Okay, if you put your hand up in front of your mouth, you can feel a big explosion of air. Snack. You can feel the air coming out when you say k. Okay, that's a K sound. And the difference between a K and a G is there is no air when you say a G. So if you say snag, there's no air coming out. You don't make any air. Snag. No air. It's like, it's something you eat instead of pushing out. Snack, you push out. Snack. You push that out. When you say snag, you eat it. You eat the G. You don't push it out. And that's the difference between snack, which is something that you eat, and snag. Let me find a picture of snag. This actually, it's a pretty advanced word because probably you don't know it. And it's used quite a bit in conversation. Let me see if I can find a good picture of a snag. I can't. Okay, we'll put like nail. Oh. Google's really horrible now. It just does not do a good job anymore showing you what you want to see. Let's say rusty nail. Anybody else notice that? Wow, this is really... I didn't have this problem the other day, actually. I was able to... Let's see. What do I put? Hit a snag. Oh, this is really horrible, actually. I wish I could find the picture that I used the other day with this guy. Let's see. Try to be very specific here and maybe... Wow, Google really is horrible. It's gotten really bad. It doesn't return anything. Okay, maybe we can use this. Okay, do you ever have like a sweater or a piece of clothing and let me see if I can center this. See, I want nails, but not this kind of nail, like this kind. Did you ever have this happen to your clothes? You're walking past something and something grabs you, and then this happens to your clothes? Can you see that? Do I have any snags? My other sweater that I was wearing earlier had a snag. That's called a snag. So it's like a little something that catches you. You walk past and there's something sticking out and it catches you. That's a snag. And it is used in English meaning as an expression. Wait, let me... Oh God. Okay. So look like this. I put a little fake conversation here to show the meaning. Like, what happened to your sweater? You see like a piece sticking out. Oh, I hit a snag. That means like a little thing caught me. A little thing caught me and stopped me. And created a little problem. Okay. And so this expression, I hit a snag, means I've encountered a little problem. We have a little problem. So you can say that sometimes. So we hit a snag. That means there's a little problem with our plan or with what we're doing. It's a very common expression, even though snag is kind of an advanced word. It's used quite a bit, meaning we have a little problem. We hit a snag. All right. Well, actually, that is the end. We've reached the end of my notes. I think that went pretty well. I think I'll be doing this again. So these are notes from my actual classes that I teach. And I'm just talking about all of the things that we did in our classes. And well, I think that was useful. I think that... let me know what you think about my little experiment today. Leave a comment. Did you find this helpful? Did you like it? Would you like to see more of it? I think I'm going to try it a little bit more. I think it was good. All right, well, thank you for staying for the entire English class, and I will see you next time. When I have more notes, I'll see you again, and we'll have another class, okay? See you next time. Goodbye.